Hi friends, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, June 28th, 2024. I've been thinking about making this video since Wednesday. On Wednesday, I uploaded a video and it was just all about sister wives. And I was wearing a dress and I had spent the morning at a agency dealing with some stuff that's been going on in my personal life. And I thought about talking about it then, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know what I was going to do. I wasn't sure what direction I was going to go, and I didn't know if there was anything that was going to change or if anything could happen or if this would ever end. And I felt very overwhelmed and at times extremely vulnerable and like I'm a sitting duck sometimes. And when I participated in the Netflix docuseries and helped work on the production of Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult, I realized that there would be a lot of exposure. And I also realized that that would help elevate the story. I realized that it would empower people to speak and to hopefully come forward and share their stories. And hopefully there would be a level of accountability for the people that have been hurting other people that are featured in the series. And naturally, there is an entire subset of people on the internet that because of what I do, because I work on exposing cults and I have a propensity to cover narcissists and I cover people that do bad things, and sometimes those people don't like to be exposed. There's this whole genre of people that exist on the internet solely to malign me. And it's been fueled by a lot of the cult leaders that I've covered over the years. Pockets of their followers have all kind of like joined together. And there are people that have been wholly misinformed about who I am and are radically aligned at this point to try to take me down. And it's very overwhelming because what I have experienced the last 2 weeks has been close to similar to what I experienced in 2021. If you remember, there was a person that was over in the UK that had inserted themselves into a lawsuit with another creator that sued me. We settled and everything is fine. But then that person basically went after me and the other side, and all of the people involved became victims of that person. And that person was never able to be arrested because they were in the UK, and the anti-KJ community embraced this person, enabled this person, fueled this person, and ultimately participated in what this person was doing. And now someone else has come into the mix, and they appear to be trying to copycat what this other person did to me. Now, the difference with this is that this person is actually located in the United States. They have been way less than smart about how they've done this. They have left a very long paper trail. They have been extremely obvious in who and what they're doing. They have resorted in going after people that follow me. There are, as a result of what has gone on in the last year, there has been one specific follower of mine that has been targeted by this group of people because they think she's working for me. That one woman has like multiple restraining orders now out against that group of people. But there's one person in that group that appears to be fueled by, I keep trying to wrap my head around to like what this person is thinking, but I can't because I would never do this to anyone. So I will say, on last week, I did a video and I let you guys know that someone swatted me and that we were woken up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was pretty unnerving. And then I told you guys about how people had posted photographs of our house that were not available on Google images, so it was very unnerving to us. And the cops were called 4 additional times after we were swatted. And then we have had pizza delivered to our home that we didn't order. We had a false CPS report filed against us in a different county, which we had to follow up with and get closed. The person or persons have filed cases with the city and filing reports in my neighbors' names, complaining about dilapidated cars in my driveway, which is ridiculous. And they have been filing like reports in my neighbor's name with the city They have filed complaints with the Attorney General. They have contacted the FBI and filed a false report with them. They have filed a false report with the Sheriff's Office, with the Department of Human Services. They attempted to take out a line of credit in my name last week. And to this person, I've been looking at their profile, and they seem to think that like this kind of behavior is just silly and funny. And yes, it's annoying when it happens to someone, but they don't seem to have this level of seriousness about what it does to people when you do these things. And here's the thing. I understand that as a public figure, my job means that I will be criticized, and I am fine with that, okay? I don't care if you talk about me. I don't care if everyone talks about me. That's fine. Go ahead and talk about me. I talk about people all the time. But when you start filing reports based on false information about someone, that's where you kind of start crossing lines. And when you're intentionally trying to create chaos and conflict between multiple groups of people, and you're the one causing the conflict, what this person seems to be doing. They are sending threats to people in my name from email accounts that I don't own. And then they're signing these emails with someone else's name. Then they're creating other emails with people that they used to be friends with and sending me threats from that person. And all the while, I know who's doing it. Like, I know exactly the person that's doing this because they've been doing this since May of 2023. And I have so much evidence of what they're doing. And so I'm not quite clear about how this gets rectified and how it gets taken care of. I don't know what's going to happen here. But what I will say is that I had to spend time on a work day meeting with 2 separate law enforcement agencies and sift through just piles and piles of evidence and go through years of what I've been experiencing and how different cult leaders have fueled a lot of this paranoia and this false narrative about me. And it's like, I can't even tell the people that are in this community that what they think about me is false, because they are so gaslit by these people that they truly believe I'm evil, wicked, and they feel like they're righteous in their fight against me, which is even scarier. So like, I actually expose people that are doing bad things, but what they are doing is creating scenarios for me to try to frame me for things, which is ridiculous. And they're trying to paint me as the evil one. And they're all doing this in a way because they want to have content for their channels. A lot of them are content creators, and they want to have this, they've built an audience where I am the devil. I'm like Satan. I am the worst person ever. I'm evil incarnate. And it's just it's weird, because if I tried to interact with these people, like there's one person specifically I would want to talk to because I know for a fact she thinks that I have sent her these messages when I didn't. But I don't think she realizes that that same person is sending me threats in her name to me. In fact, that person sent an email to my attorney confessing to crimes yesterday in this person's name. And my attorney was like, okay, this is weird. And so we're forwarding this all to law enforcement, but that person that thinks I'm threatening her doesn't realize that the person she thinks is threatening her, which is me, isn't doing it, and that someone she formerly really trusted is the one that's doing it. What this person is doing is they're creating chaos on both sides. So they're the instigator of all of it. They are creating emails in different people's names. They are setting up Gmail accounts. They are sending threats then to one creator on one side, which would be the anti-KJ, and then they're sending me a threat on the other side in the name of someone from the anti-KJ community. So they're making it seem like we're at a war when we're not. Like, I literally don't even know who these creators are that I'm getting these emails about. And because that whole community has such a like turnover rate of so many different creators, people jump into it. They like leave after a while because they figure out it's all stupid and their whole goal is just ridiculous and it's founded on lies. People wake up and realize that they've been misled, and they come back to me and they apologize. So I don't even pay attention to what these people are saying about me, because it's kind of like when you're dealing with QAnon, like you can't argue a negative, like you can't prove a negative. I can't prove to them I'm not that person because they believe I'm that person. This one specific person has been gaslit by a lot of different people. They've been gaslit by the cult leader Robert Shin. They've been gaslit by other people that I have covered in the past. They've been gaslit by other creators about me. And they believe literally that I'm a predator and that I'm evil, and they think they're fighting this like war against me with their sole mission of like trying to take me down. And to do this, they're taking and exceeding steps that are so far beyond what I can comprehend or even share with you, because I've literally never even thought of someone going through something like this. Like, I can't fathom why anyone would want to file a report with CPS and pose as someone else's attorney, knowing full well that that's not who filed it, knowing full well that the attorney is going to get a copy of this and know that they didn't file it. I don't know why the same person would then send threats to an opposing counsel in a lawsuit I'm involved in as me, knowing that I would never do that, and represented parties can't contact other attorneys on the opposing side. So I can't speak to the opposing counsel in any lawsuits against me. It's just, you cannot do that. My attorney speaks for me. And so like everything they're doing is just so incredibly sloppy, but it's extremely disruptive because I've had cops at my house. I've had to deal with CPS. We've had to deal with false reports being filed at the city. We've had my neighbors get incredibly like upset. They're being very understanding, but like very frustrated that anyone online would want to do this to people. And that's the thing, is like, you don't have to like me, but leave my neighbors alone. Don't bring up my neighbors. Don't file reports in my neighbors' names. I live in a small community and my neighbors are good people. They have kids. Many of them have kids. Some of them are actually police officers themselves. And it's just unnecessary. My neighbors should never be the target of any of this. And like, this is it's so frustrating. Scientology does a thing called Fairgaming. I'm basically being fair gamed, but I don't know by who. I know that Robert Shin amped up a lot of these people 2 years ago, but I can't say for sure that Robert Shin from the Netflix series is the one behind this, because I don't know that he is. All I can do is just like hand over everything to the authorities, and then they have to do their due diligence and figure out where it's all coming from and why someone is doing it, what their motivation is for doing it. Are they getting paid by someone to do it, or are they simply doing it out of a vendetta? Are they doing it because they like to cause chaos? Are they doing it because they want to make content? That's the other thing, is if you're going to make content online on YouTube, you shouldn't be filing reports against people that are false and then going on your channel and using those reports as though it's content and proof of something that you've accomplished against me or whatever. People are being rewarded in this community for like constantly one-upping each other, constantly trying to go further, pressing boundaries, going further. And, you know, I've been dealing with this for 5 years, and I keep wondering, like, at what point are these people going to understand that they're going to be consequences for this eventually, or someone's going to get hurt. My child is not online. He doesn't have social media. He doesn't have any profiles. I haven't shared a photograph like of his face since he was 5 years old, and he's going to be 12 in October. He is completely invisible. And these people keep bringing him into something which my channel has nothing to do with him. They make up stories about him that aren't true. They make up stories about me and him that aren't true. And my poor son is just like, I can't even tell him what's going on because it would scare him. And he doesn't deserve that. I don't know what the motivation is for this anti-KJ community. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like what I do. You can monetize the hell out of me. I don't care. Talk about me. But stop these games. Stop with these making up stories to make me the villain. Cover the content that I cover. Criticize how I cover something. But when you guys are actually creating the chaos yourselves so that you can make content, so you can make me the villain when I'm really not the villain, you're chasing a theory that's just not true. Some of the creators in this world are so hell-bent to believe that I am who these people say I am, that they will ignore all logic, they will ignore all facts, and they will ignore all proof. They're currently ignoring the source of who's doing all of this, and they're continuing to amplify this narrative that I'm actually causing all of what's happening to me right now. And I'll make a video right now and they will say that I am just playing the victim. That's how gaslit these people are. I don't like talking about it. I don't like even giving it space, but I've had to take steps this week that I didn't want to take. I've had to do things that I didn't want to do. And I want to feel like I can create content without having to worry about every single person online coming for me over false information. If you're one of those content creators that's doing this and you have a conscience, think about your own family and whether or not you would want to go through what I'm going through right now. If you think I'm sending you threats, I'm not. I'm not. You all have been side by side the person that is. Many of you have streamed with this person. I'm not a collaborative streamer. I don't do like panels, but many of you do. You all know who each other are. You all know what your motives are. You all know in your little group chats how you're going to do things, which is fine, but you know who's doing this and you know it's not me. And if you want to defend Robert Shin, you're on the wrong side. If you want to defend cult leaders, you're on the wrong side. If you want to believe I'm going after Christianity and I'm evil, that's not true. I go against cult leaders. I go against abusive cult leaders. I go against abusive systems. I don't go against the average, everyday, run-of-the-mill Christian. But whatever. I don't have that much more to say here. I feel like I'm kind of just rambling. But I'm hopeful that the right people have their hands on things right now. I'm hopeful that finally there will be a resolution to this. I am hopeful that the people involved will be held accountable. I am grateful for every single person that I've worked with in the last couple weeks, from my county, from all the different law enforcement agencies that have had to deal with me in the last few weeks. I've been so internally grateful for their kindness, their compassion, and their heart to help end what's happening and to help make sure that this doesn't happen again and to help just keep us safe. Because at the end of the day, we all should feel safe. And like effing up someone else's safety just so you can make content or try to take someone down or try to end someone it's a weird it's a thought process I can't comprehend. Because even if I don't like Robert Shin and even if I don't like Cody Brown, I don't file police reports against them. I don't contact CPS about them. I don't open bank account credit lines for them. I don't email them. I don't contact them. I stay in my lane. Just stay in your lane. Make your content without interfering in my life. And now I just have to hope that the person that's doing this will finally be caught and arrested and get justice for what they're doing. But until they're in handcuffs, I can't share any more details. I hope this is helping. I'm totally rambling. I just wanted to come on here and be very vulnerable and share what I've been dealing with. And I appreciate all of you for listening. And I hope you understand that I couldn't be on camera today because I don't feel safe right now. The last few days, I've just needed to be away from the camera. I don't want to be exposed right now. Thanks for listening. Don't go real life. Don't harass people. Don't file false reports. Don't file false federal reports. Swatting isn't a game. It's not funny. It's not a ha-ha thing. It's actually a crime. Sending threats is actually a crime. Filing false police reports, filing false federal reports is also crimes. And there are consequences. Thanks for listening. Bye, guys.